Live from the Workplace Ninja Summit in Baden. From sponsor breakthroughs to community-led revolutions, this is the Workplace Ninja Community Stage.
Welcome to the presentation. First of all, thank you to the sponsors. And now I'm going to introduce Flo to you. He's a modern workplace engineer at Epic Fusion. He is from Bern, from Switzerland, and he has some hobbies. He has many crazy hobbies: flying, scuba diving, hanging out, fishing. And he don't has a blog because he's a pilot, so he doesn't have any time to blog. Sometimes we get pictures like this from him.
Yeah, thanks for the amazing introduction. Because of the meme, I like to mention that today is Roman's birthday. So yeah, if you see him during the event, maybe congratulate him. He really appreciates it. Yeah, back to Roman.
Thank you.
He lives also in Switzerland and is also working at Epic Fusion as a modern workplace engineer. And maybe you know his blog. He blogs on Cloud Cook and has some Microsoft certificates. If he's not blogging or working, he's in tech, food, or gaming. Here's our plan for the next few minutes. First, we talk about what security baselines are, what this is. Then we will show you where they overlap and where they diverge. Based on that, where they conflict and may break the user experience, and then how you have to deal with them, with the conflicts and the breaks. And finally, we provide you a quick rollout playbook. Yeah, I hope everyone is familiar with the security baselines. I hope so. Just quick, they are Microsoft-created, pre-configured policies. In our case, for Windows, Edge, or Office, or Office, that let us quickly and solid harden endpoints in a relatively easy way via Intune. And the good point is that they are aligned to each feature update. So if there's a new feature update, a feature update release, they should be aligned with the security baseline, or the security baselines are aligned with the feature updates. So with the security baselines, you have a solid balance between security and usability. It's just a good starting point and not the whole security implementation, or it should not be the whole security implementation on your tenant. Now, to compare then the CIS against the security baselines, we will shortly talk about what CIS is. CIS is from the Center of the Internet for Security. They publish globally recognized cross-platform hardening benchmarks. They are very granular and more stricter. It's a rule set like the security baselines, but yeah, even stricter than them. They are more restrictive than the recommendations from the vendor and designed well for audits, so auditors love them. With an implementation of the CIS baselines or the CIS settings, you can easily reach ISO or another audit standard and could be audited on them. CIS provides you two levels. For those who don't know how this works, you have level 1 and level 2. Level 1 is way less restrictive than the level 2. It's more for low impact hardening, and where level 2 is more restrictive and includes higher impact settings and controls for high risk systems. Unlike the Microsoft baselines, the CIS settings are not in place, and that's why we have this presentation. You have to manually implement them and create them, roll out on your tenant, to your endpoints, to your devices. And that's the challenge, because you will see they could make some conflicts with other policies. Then you have to challenge them, to search them. But we will see that later. exactly this version of Ruffy would be you if you just use the baseline settings who are in place in Intune. After you implemented level 1, or you're level 1 enabled, you look like Arc2 Ruffy, and with an implementation of CIS level 2, you are the prime version of Ruffy. This is just that you can imagine how they increase your security on your tenant or on your endpoints. To give you a sense of scale and overlap, Intune baselines include around 490 settings, CIS level 1 about 338, and CIS 2 around 85. And the challenge is now to identify where they overlaps, where the overlaps of the settings are, and to configure them so the baselines are the CIS settings in harmony to each other. But how does the challenge look like in a productive environment? Normally, you enable the security baselines. You enable the security baselines for your device. Then, on top of that, you configure the CIS settings based on level 2 or level 1, which you prefer. And after the CIS implementation, you will have a lot of conflicts. So that's the annoying part. And the conflicts are not only with CIS or the baselines, the security baselines. It also could conflict with, or they could also conflict with, other settings in place in your tenant or in Intune. And the point here is you have to solve them with not applying them. And this could be the biggest challenge, because we already talked about in the focus session today. The main challenge here is you have to find where they are conflicting each other, and because Intune don't want to show you each time the second policy who are conflicting with the first one. You have sometimes scroll through all of your policies and search which one is the setting or the control, which is the one who is conflicting with my CIS or security baseline. And after you solve the conflicts or the errors of the policy applying, you have a good hardened endpoints with also not a broken user experience, I think. The important thing here is that you need both of them. You can't just implement the security baselines or just the CIS and then can say, my tenant or my endpoints are secure. You have to implement both. So they are, they should be in harmony and help each other to secure your endpoints. The baselines are, just a regularly updated base of a rule set to secure your clients, while CIS is, CIS will do the maximum hardening of your devices. Just short, this slide here shows where CIS and the Microsoft security baselines overlap. They call for the same setting here in each area or in each control, but this does not mean that they call the same configuration in the setting. So they are aligned in, we have to use this technology or this control, but for BitLocker, Roman will also show that to you later. Like BitLocker, they don't recommend you the same encryption method, but they both require for enabling a security baseline or the CIS baseline that you use the BitLocker, but not how you have to use them. So this difference is now that what Roman will talk about and show you. I will hand over to you.
Thank you. So if we check out the different settings we have in CIS and security baseline, we can see that on I would say like 80% of all topics, they overlap somehow. Like we all, as Flo told, they have all BitLocker settings, they have all UAC or elevation settings, but the settings can have conflicts or differences. If we check out the UAC and elevation settings, we can see that MS Baseline does have UAC, but we use secure desktop. And for CIS, it's always notified, so if we have like script or something, it can break. For browser, CIS is extreme tough. It will disable pretty much all browser settings or browser extensions, and same for store. If you want CIS level 2 compliance, Windows Store can't be needed. And I think the store is pretty cool, so yeah. Same for telemetry. If we check out the telemetry, we can see that CIS tries to eliminate telemetry to the max, so almost no telemetry. And as we know Microsoft loves our data. So if we use CIS level 2, telemetry can be pretty much disabled, and Intune or MDE will get some troubles, perhaps. For macros, CIS tells us to block all macros, and Microsoft in the Microsoft Intune Security Baseline doesn't have really a setting. It's a separate configuration profile for that. We recently had a project with a customer. They needed to have CIS level 2. And first they had Intune Security Baseline November 22, pretty old. And then we had to migrate first to 24H2 Security Baseline. And if you know both of those security baselines, you know that 24H2 is in settings catalog already, and November 22 was in the old format, I don't know how it's called. And first we had to align them, and already that process, it was such a pain, because like almost all policies or settings had a different name or had a different value, but exactly do the same. And after that was done, we implemented CIS level 2. What happened then? So we saw that OneDrive file sync was not possible anymore due to a CIS setting. And in our cloud-only environment, I think OneDrive file sync is pretty much needed. Then the MSS auto admin logon will break autopilot. So if you do CIS, then please don't enable this setting. Downloads were not possible anymore on the client. We tried to download Access, MSIs, stuff like that, and always this BitLocker-like icon there, and we had to search, so what, why? And then we saw, it's due to the download restriction setting, and they have different options there, and CIS recommends level 3. And level 3 is block all possible dangerous downloads. But what means possible dangerous? It means everything that makes fun. So you can download PDFs or Excel files, but not a MSI or exe or a PowerShell script or nothing like that. And all drives were not shown anymore, but that was a reason because the AVD config was filtered for client devices and had nothing to do with that. But first thought was, what shit policy is that? So if we need now to prioritize what is important for us. If security is our top priority, we depend on a combination of all three. Because as told earlier, if you use CIS, there are some settings that are missing because of security baseline and vice versa. So CIS does not implement all security settings from Microsoft Security Baseline, and Microsoft Security Baseline does not implement all CIS settings. Best is both worlds combined. If you need compliance, go hard for CIS level 2 or CIS level 1, depends on your case. And if you want a nice UX and not too much crying users, go for a combination of all three and just look what can break possibly the UX. If you already implemented the the Intune Security Baseline once, you know that's one big policy with all settings in it. And I think one big policy with all that settings in it isn't that fun to work with. So there are heads on this world who created one settings catalog profile for every theme in the security baseline policy. So you don't have a policy with 490 settings. You will have like, I think there are 15 profiles now, with all based on the topic they are in, like BitLocker, device restrictions, etc. And you can get the official CIS benchmarks from the CIS site, but be aware that it's a PDF file with, I think, 1,100 sites, something like that. If you can't sleep, then read it, then you will sleep like a baby, I think. So, how does a rollout really work? So, first of all, deploy the security baselines to a test tenant. Then check if you have on that test tenant policies that would merge or create conflicts. But you can do it all in one policy if you want. But best practice would be merge it into the existing configuration you have on your tenant. Then deploy the CIS benchmarks and consolidate them with the created policies or with the just merged policies from the Microsoft Security Baselines. Deploy to the test group and then deploy to the pro tenant. That would be like a perfect rollout in that case. So you will not have 40 policies more because of Microsoft Security Baselines and CIS Baselines. You will get like 5 to 6 policies more on your tenant, and it will be a lot more overviewable. And that's pretty much the same again, but with the Naruto icons. Feedback would be cool, thank you, and have a nice day.
Thanks for joining the Workplace Ninja community stage. Stay curious, stay connected, and keep on sharing. Until next time.